Stay healthy. Deworm your family every 3 months with Pyratrine. Pyratrine works effectively and is available in suspension and easy-to-swallow tablet. Pyratrine Worm Expeller is a product of Nimit International Pharmaceuticals PLC. Pyratrine, effective worm expeller for the family.
All the hits, one station.
Yes, Media Academy Radio.
The #1 hit music station.
A very beautiful Saturday morning. We say good morning to you wherever in the world you are listening to us and you are watching us from. This is Yes Man Radio, the first Media Academy radio right here in the city of Ibadan. We are transmitting live and direct from Yemishonde Media House, Yemishonde Crescent Felele Express, Ibadan, Southwest Nigeria. Good morning to you out there, and thank you for joining me on the newspaper review. And I will be doing this with a whole lot of great personnel this morning, and definitely I have two newspapers with me, The Punch and The Nation newspaper. I'll check out some of the headlines making the rounds, and we'll go straight to the details as they come by this morning. My name is Olatunde Ido, and I say good morning and thank you for joining me. Quickly from The Punch and The Nation newspaper that I have with me, on the pages of the dailies, I have the headline and big bold caption that says, Diezani must face 17.6 billion naira money laundering charges. That's credited to the court. And you get that from the pages of all the dailies that we have here this morning. How NDDC paid staff 655 million naira for training foreign trips during COVID-19. You can get that as well from the pages of the newspapers this morning. Ojuogbo alleges corruption in House Committee on NDDC. Ojuogbo alleges corruption in House Committee on NDDC. And on a rather sad note, but be that as it may, Kwara governor loses father. We'll bring you that story very shortly. Again, gunmen kill 7 in southern Kaduna. You can check it out from the pages of the Punch newspaper. Kwara Council Eid prayers, rolls out safety measures, and going to WASC, Lagos private schools to resume August 3rd. Shekau told us federal government insincere. That's credited to an ex-Boko Haram fighter. And going straight to The Nation newspaper, Monarch's son arrested over satellite town attack. You can get the details from the Nation newspaper. COVID-19, Nigeria will live with pandemic for 1 year. That's credited to the DG NCDC. Dogara rejoins APC as Buni woos more PDP leaders. And Lawan to Ohaneze, Senate will be fair to all. If you're interested in that story, you can check it out from The Nation newspaper. Woman rescued in another Lagos building collapse. It's on the pages of The Nation newspaper. Big Brother Nigeria, minister did not order stoppage. Full details is on virtually in all the dailies we have with us here. In the world of sport, Napoli finally agrees 60 million euros for Osimhen. Okay, that's a good one. We'll see how that pans out eventually. Let's get down to the business of the morning. And before I go, we'll take a short commercial break. And when I come back, I'll bring you the details from the dailies this morning. Good morning to you out there.
àṣìlù tó ní bí kò sígbà tá a daṣọ tá ò rí lẹ̀ fi gbọ́. the Genius Camp Adult School jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. fatafata làwọn ìyá àgbà táwọn bàbá àgbà. tí ò kàwé tẹ́lẹ̀ ń sọ ìbò níbẹ̀. láàrin ìgbà péréte àwọn èèyàn fi mọ̀ ọkọ mọ̀ọ́kà. ìṣirò àtòdiwọ̀n tá a mọ̀ sí measurement. àwọn ọ̀dọ́ tí ìdíwọ́ ò jẹ́ kí wọ́n lè parí ẹ̀kọ́ òwe wọn. the Genius Camp Adult School òdu ni wọ́n kì í ṣe ìmọ̀ fúnlùkù. nípa ẹ̀kọ́ àgbà èyí òjíṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run tẹ́ fẹ́ máa fèdè òyìnbó wàásù. the Genius Camp Adult School ibẹ̀ ní kẹ́ máa bọ̀. àti mú un rọrùn fún yín lọ́nà tí ò ní paṣẹ yín lára. wípé private teacher tí ó máa wá kọ́ yín níbi iṣẹ́ àbí nílé tí ò sì ní sí ṣòro. a ti ṣe ààyè fún online classes. Genius Camp Adult School 59 MKO Abiola Way Ajigbe bus stop Ring Road Challenge Ìbàdàn Àbísẹ̀gẹ̀lú bus stop New Ife Road Ìwó Road Ìbàdàn. ilé ẹ̀kọ́ wọ́n wà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. láti mọ ilé ẹ̀kọ́ wa tó súnmọ́ agbègbè tiyín. ẹ máa pe 08105150406 tàbí 08062727856. The Genius Camp bí dìde fóríṣiríṣi èèyàn láti tayọ.
SCP.com everyone has to set go. Where they protect our family from yama infection. SCP liquid antiseptic. Oh yeah, make you take up, clean your mouth. Take a do emergency things. Now multi-purpose liquid antiseptic. They work for many things. Oh yeah, put out for first aid box. If it apply for minor wounds, papa, mama, pikin, everybody.
Nimet International Pharmaceuticals PLC, the DUAM MCP, now the protection we every home need.
Thank you for being there and you're welcome back. It's still the newspaper review from Yes Small Radio, the First Media Academy Radio. Let me begin my first story from the pages of the Punch newspaper with the headline, Diezani must face 17.6 billion naira money laundering charges. That's credited to the court. The writers there says summons ex-minister to appear October 28. UK to blame for delay in Diezani's trial. That's credited to Sage. The Federal High Court in Abuja yesterday ordered a former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Diezani Alison Madueke, to appear for arraignment on money laundering charges preferred against her by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Justice Ijoma Ojukwu gave the order in a ruling on an ex parte application shortly after it was moved by EFCC's lawyer Farouk Abdullah. The judge ordered the defendant, who was alleged to have fled to the United Kingdom shortly after leaving office in 2015, to appear in court to answer to the 13 counts of money laundering involving $39.7 million, which is about 14.29 billion naira at 360 naira to a dollar, and 3.32 billion naira said to be proceeds of unlawful activities. Justice Ojukwu, in her ruling, ordered that the summons she issued on Friday should be published on the website of the EFCC and a national daily in a conspicuous manner. The judge adjourned the case till October 25 for the defendant's arraignment. Diezani must face 17.6 billion naira money laundering charges. That's credited to the courts. If you're interested in that story, please check it out from the various dailies that we have in town this morning. How NDDC paid staff 655 million naira for training foreign trips during COVID-19 lockdown. The embattled Interim Management Committee of the Niger Delta Development Commission paid 570 million naira to some staff members to undergo training programs when Nigeria was on total lockdown following the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. The disclosure is contained in the report of the Senate ad hoc committee set up to unravel the alleged financial recklessness perpetrated by the IMC between October 1999 and May 2020. A copy of the panel's report obtained by Newsman yesterday showed that 143 million naira was paid to individual members of staff on April 1, 2020 to attend a budget participatory conference. Incidentally, according to the report, this period happens to be during the COVID-19 lockdown. It is obvious that the conference was not attended as the country was on absolute lockdown. The panel therefore recommended that the entire sum be refunded by the staff members concerned. This payment was made to 5 members of staff, averaging almost 28 million naira per person, it stated. The report also added that 171 million naira was paid in cash to 300 drivers in February on February 3rd, 2020 to attend a driver training course scheduled to take place when the nation was on lockdown. The panel noted that the culture of cash payment to individual staff seems to be a standard practice at the NDDC. This custom is not only unethical, it lacks transparency and accountability. NDDC must do away with this practice as a way of improving its duty of stewardship, the report stated. It also added that the IMC paid 150 million naira on the 3rd of April 2020 to some NDDC union executive for an international labor organization conference in Turin, Italy. Incidentally, this period also happens to be during the COVID-19 lockdown. It is obvious that the beneficiaries of this payment could not travel out of the country as a result of the COVID-19 travel restrictions. How NDDC paid staff 655 million naira for training foreign trips during COVID-19 lockdown. You can get this details from the various dailies that we have here. Still staying with the NDDC, Ojogbo alleges corruption in House Committee on NDDC. The Executive Director of Projects Interim Management Committee on Niger Delta Development Commission, Dr. Cairo Ojogbo, has alleged that the activities of the National Assembly must be critically examined for Nigeria to move forward. Ojogbo stated this yesterday at the palace of the Asagba of Asaba in Delta State, alleging that there was criminality in the House Committee on NDDC. Addressing the Asagba of Asaba, Obichi Chike Edozen, he said, and I quote, "I am here today to inform you that the Inspector General of Police is coming to Asaba to inaugurate the Police Equipment Fund and brief you on what is going on in IMC." The reports of the National Assembly never indicated IMC. Before now, the National Assembly was the one running the place. When we came, we said no, because over 20 years there was nothing to show in the Niger Delta region. They want to take the NDDC back to the office of the Secretary to the government of the Federation, where all these evils were perpetrated before, and we said no when we came on board. We have a lot of criminality in the House Committee on NDDC. Senator Peter Nwaboshi's house is the warehouse of the NDDC, and the National Assembly wants to be the court, the judge, and the prosecutor in the NDDC matter. If the country must improve, we must look at the National Assembly activities. I am 60 years old now, so if I don't speak the truth now, when will I speak it? Your Majesty, be assured that I have not stolen and I will not steal. That's credited to Ojogbo, not me there. But the headlines there says Ojogbo alleges corruption in House Committee on NDDC. You can check the full details from the pages of the various papers that we have here. And just a couple of hours ago, just very recently this morning, the news of the governor of Kwara State losing his father this morning has taken the airwaves. Abdul Ganiyu Abdul Razak, the father of Governor Abdul Rahman Abdul Razak of Kwara State, is dead. Born in the year 1927, Abdul Ganiyu died this morning in Abuja at the age of 93, according to a family member, Dr. Alimi Abdurazak, who announced his passage. Arrangement for his interment will be announced by the family shortly, said the family announcer in a statement. The deceased was former Nigeria's ambassador to Cote d'Ivoire and reputed as the first Kwara Commissioner of Finance upon the creation of the state in 1963. The late Mutawal of Ilorin and Tafida of Zazawu in Zaria, Kaduna State was also the former chairman of the Nigerian body of benchers. Kwara governor loses father. You get full details from the Punch newspaper and every other paper that we have in here this morning. And quickly going to Lagos State this morning, WASC. Lagos private schools to resume August the 3rd. The National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, Lagos State, has told the terminal senior secondary school pupils will resume on August the 3rd. Speaking at a press briefing on Friday, the president, NAPS Lagos State Chapter, Amusa Olawale, explained that there was plan to ensure the conduct of the West African Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination in September. He said in the last meeting the Southwest governors had with the commissioners for education, they are still working on how WASC will be conducted in September, because if the pupils don't sit the exam, the 2020-2021 session will be seriously affected. He added that the Lagos State Ministry of Education had given them permission to resume so far the necessary health requirements were met. WASC, Lagos private schools to resume August the 3rd. If you're interested in that story, please, you can check out the story from the Punch newspaper as well. Shekau told us federal government insincere. That's credited to an ex-Boko Haram fighter. A surrendered Boko Haram terrorist who is in the custody of troops of the Multinational Joint Task Force has said a factional leader of the sect, Abubakar Shekau, told them while in the forest that the federal government was insincere and cheated them. The surrendered terrorist, according to a release from MNJTF on Friday, added that Shekau was worse than those he commanded and he was happy to have escaped from the sect. In the release by the MNJTF Chief of Public Information, Colonel Timothy Tigbaha, 47 Boko Haram fighters surrendered to Sector 1 of the force with their family members. The surrendered terrorist who spoke about Shekau and whose name was concealed admitted to having participated in various operations in Banki, Fotokol, Gamburu, Ngala, New Mate, Chikungudu, amongst others. He said, and I quote, "They told us that we were being lied to and cheated by apostate government. But I have not seen any difference between Shekau and those he has been condemning. He may even be worse than them. I am having it a lot better here because since we came out of the bush, we have been fed and catered for." Shekau told us federal government insincere. That's credited to a Boko Haram fighter who just surrendered just of recent. Now, okay, we'll see how that pans out. And quickly, in the world of politics, Dogara rejoins APC as Buni woos more PDP leaders. You have the writers there that says realignment of forces begins towards 2023. PDP jittery about impending mass defection, says APC. We are not aware of Dogara's defection. That's credited to the PDP. The immediate part Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Yakubu Dogara, is back in the All Progressive Congress APC. The move, the ruling party says, is the first step in bringing back its members who left its fold in the run-up to the 2019 election. Dogara was at the Presidential Villa Abuja yesterday to see President Muhammadu Buhari. He was accompanied to the State House by the chairman of the APC Caretaker National Planning Committee and Governor of Yobe State, Maimala Buni. Buni confirmed Dogara's return to the APC after the meeting with Buhari. Part of the Yobe governor's brief is to rebuild the party ahead of its national convention, where a new executive committee will be elected. It told reporters on Friday that the process of regaining all aggrieved members of the party who left had comment. He said the party was already reaching out to others with a view to bringing them back. We are meeting all our aggrieved members, particularly those who have interest in coming back to the party, he said. You can get the full detail from the Nation newspaper and every national daily that's out today with the headline: Dogara rejoins APC as Buni woos more PDP leaders. And you can go out, you can check it out. Still staying with the Nation newspaper, woman rescued in another Lagos building collapse. A 30-year-old woman was rescued from the rubble of a collapsed 3-story building in Ebute Metta on Friday afternoon. The building, located directly opposite Ebute Metta Comprehensive Health Center on Abeokuta Street, collapsed around 1 p.m. The incident occurred barely 2 weeks after a 3-story building collapsed on a bungalow at Freeman Street, Lagos Island, killing a policewoman and 2 children. Although no life was lost in Friday's incident, residents believe that was because the building gave way in the afternoon when occupants had gone out. Rescuers also dismissed speculations that people died in the collapse, insisting that so far only the rescued woman seemed to have been in the premises. According to the Director General, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASIMA, the rescued woman has been evacuated to the hospital for treatment. Woman rescued in another Lagos building collapse. You can check that story out. It's on the pages of the various newspapers we have this morning. And quickly, before I check out this morning, Minister did not stop stoppage. Reports that Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed ordered the popular reality show Big Brother Naija BBN yanked off the airwaves are not true, sources said on Friday. The reality show, which entered its 5th season on July 20th, remains one of the most watched programs on cable TV in Nigeria. The report had alleged that the minister directed the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC) to shut down the show for fear that it could help in spreading COVID-19 because of the close interacting among participants. An official of the ministry, who does not want to be named, told newsmen yesterday that the program will not be running by now if truly any such directive had been given. That will be all on the newspaper review for this morning. Tomorrow, definitely, God willing, is another day. On behalf of the entire transmission